be honest with you, they just paid for the gating on the new gates tonight for us. So we're gonna put gates on the facility as well to make it. The one biggest thing that we deal with out there, and people talk about what their biggest concern was parking. And how do you man 3 or 4 gates and get all their gate fee, right? Like that's how they make their income on these tournaments. So what we're doing is we're adding fencing between 1 and 2 so that we can enter that way. We're adding fencing between 1 and 5, kind of angled around, so you can still get in there and play ball and get to the diamonds. And then we're also adding from 2 to 8 angle along gate fence, so we have 2 primary gates in and out of there. It also helps us with security because we're adding turf. We're not going to not secure it. You know, even if it is only the front 4, we have to secure, have cameras up, things like that. So all those things have been part of my plan and in the budget for that.
So when I was a kid growing up, we used to go to the North Park and play ball in the middle of the day.
Yeah.
So the kids aren't gonna have no place to go play ball in the middle of the day. We're gonna secure it, to have access to it. A pickup game's not gonna happen.
Well, part of that is too, is we need to generate revenue for the county, so there will be ways they can get on there working with the Parks Department to get access to those. We're not just gonna leave them open for everybody. If somebody wants to play ball, they will be able to have the access to go online, reserve a diamond, things like that if they want.
And paid play? Oh, no. So my family reunion can't go over there and play kickball every year like we do?
Not, I mean, on turf, it's gonna be tough. I mean, it's just part of it.
Well, it depends on how hot it is.
Culver Park will still be available to you as well. But those are conversations we have to have, and we're gonna learn as we grow, to be honest with you, because you're not the only one that said that.
Yeah, I mean, it's should be.
But that's part of the reason why the diamonds are in the, and other people can speak if they want, that's part of the reason the diamonds are in the condition they're in, because people go out there, they do what they want, and nobody
The
takes care
reason
of
the
it.
diamonds are in the condition it is because the park department has done a damn thing over the years to help maintain them.
And I've heard that too, Kevin. But now we're hopefully.
The only thing, in 8 years, the only thing I got from the parks department was mowing the grass in the outfields. Everything else was paid for by us, volunteers,
Right.
and some money from the concessions.
I'm not disagreeing with that at all, I hear that from everybody, and that's the biggest complaint, I mean, even, so hopefully the restructure where we're taking care of concessions and the maintenance now.
You know,
We'll change all that.
there's so many other stories, but
Right, no, I agree. I don't want you to be upset with me, trying to, you know, I understand.
nobody
three to the
understands
wolves.
really how much in damn Pepsi contracts cost that complex.
Yes.
Sometimes I wonder, as I look at my previous background as a coach and a high school principal, whether these sports are for the kids or for the parents.
I agree, probably more for the parents a lot of times, to get involved in it.
Harold, did I read correctly what RBC did for the funding?
Obviously gave $100,000 towards the,
And that came after discussion with you, Chris, about the, because
Yes.
it's county property and
Yeah,
all
so,
that stuff.
and so that grant was also contingent upon me getting a positive recommendation and a positive review from the State Board of Accounts, which I have been trading phone calls with the people there to verify. My read on the statutory scheme of the TIF and redevelopment commission, how that money can be used, is that it cannot be used to maintain the property, but it could be used to maintain or to improve the property on a capital improvement type of program, like the turfs. If it is either in the allocation area, which this is not in our allocation area, or it services the allocation area. The part I'm trying to get clarification from the State Board of Accounts is what exactly it means by services the allocation area. So for in this instance, there is I think a relatively good argument to be made that if that area is improved, that gets more people to it, it gets more visitors, it gets more tourism, those dollars then get spent in the allocation area, which then services the allocation area. It may, so for instance, it might attract someone who wants to build another hotel. Could attract other businesses that wanna correlate to this. I mean, I know there's a business now going in now that's batting cages that's gonna be, I think part of what they're looking at is they're gonna have more tournaments, we're gonna have these more people. So the question that I'm trying to get answered is if it services the allocation, that's my read on it. But it was contingently approved for $100,000 upon me talking to the state board of accounts.
And where would funding come from if we would choose to support that?
That is something that I can look into and provide some options to you all, should you charter me to do so. I don't believe that we have a line item that is already appropriated in that level of a $200,000 commitment. If there's a number that is more palatable, I can work on that. But there would be a couple different options. Should this body task me with finding that out, I can provide that to you or provide options and or based on amounts.
Out of curiosity, over the last 25 years that I've been involved, there's been numerous tournaments out there. And there is a diamond fee for every day. Where is that money? Is that still in one account? Is it,
That is goes, yeah, it goes to the Parks General Fund account from what I'm aware of, Mark.
why does it go to general, why doesn't it go back to the diamond?
That's what's gonna change, it's gonna be some appropriation.
That should be.
That's, trust me, that's all been thought of. So my apologies, you guys, I know the way it's been passed, I mean, obviously there's things that I hear from everybody. And your guys' time spent out there is totally not overlooked, in my opinion. And I can apologize for the way things have ran in the past. There's only one way to go now is to get it better. I wasn't around then.
I just think that it's rushing it as far as trying to get all of those diamonds done when, you know, four diamonds are too hot, at least you got four diamonds that you can still play on.
Right.
But if you got 8 diamonds that are too hot, then everybody goes home. So, I don't know, I just don't, with all the unknowns and not really knowing, I mean, I've been the whole travel ball thing, I know all about it. And it's, you know, you definitely can't, if you build it, they will come, that's just false. It's not gonna happen, it's not a guarantee, it's not a guarantee. And I think we're just biting off too much at first. And I think that we ought to be satisfied with 4 right now, and if things pick up and we see, you know, a huge, we see great revenue coming in and teams coming in, and, I mean, everybody's gotta start somewhere.
Right.
And I just feel like it's not,
That was
I don't like, I've been to a lot of complexes, and there's a lot of complexes that have both.
Right.
And I know when it's, you know, when it's pouring down rain, you can't play on the dirt, but you can play on that turf, and vice versa, when it's too hot. I mean, I've seen girls drop, and I know the travel ball, coordinators that come in, I mean, they don't care how hot it is, they're gonna play ball. And those, I've seen girls just drop from people off those turfs.
Yeah.
I think it needs to prove itself first. It's just too much right at first. And I realize that you're gonna, but hey, if you're gonna bring in all this revenue, then you ought to be able to, you know, put the turf on the back ones if that's what they so choose, and you shouldn't have to, ask for anything. But that's just my opinion.
So the Parks Department's gonna take over these concessions this year,
Right.
okay?
Directly to,
Directly to. So does any of that concession money go back to the leagues? Or back to one
It
of
goes to the maintenance as it does currently.
Okay.
Maintaining the diamonds.
And then, obviously this year, we're gonna have volunteers, the leagues are gonna go as planned. Will the Parks Department take over the leagues next year?
I don't believe so. There's no plan. I don't wanna run them. I wanna be partnership with the softball and baseball boards and keep running them as they're currently.
To do 501c3s.
Right, exactly.
Anything else for Rob?
Do you have a number in mind you're wanting to ask for? You asking for 200, or you?
Well, I'm just asking if there's any interest in partnership, whether it be 200, 100, anything less, whatever, if you guys see anything at all. Like I said, I'm seeking other ways as well.
Are you looking corporate? Are you looking like Honda,
Well,
G-Con?
applied for a Honda grant already to put a walking path back in there that connects the parking lots back, like around 4, between 6 and 7, and then between 8, kind of like that back there, and it's gonna be an inclusion path. So for those with disabilities, things like that, Brian Robbins actually helped me write the grant on that, and then, we submitted that, so we have those monies, but that's gonna have costs as well, so. So, but I am talking with, Community Foundation, to kind of do a match with them on funds that we raise and sponsorships also. So all the Diamond sponsorships need to be revisited.
Rob, you handled yourself well.
Thanks.
I feel like a dartboard right now.
No, this is good, it's good, it keeps me sharp, so I appreciate it.
Anything else for Rob? Anything that you wanna task me with at this moment, or if you wanna provide feedback on that in the future?
I guess I just have a question, maybe Mark, for you is, so right now with the leagues and concessions, does that money go back to the leagues?
Yes.
So we're gonna take
The
that money.
league buys all the concessions, and then what profit is made, which is very little, because you have to use Coke. You have to pay $18 a case, and you sell it for $2.50 a bottle, or $3, whatever it is. You don't make a whole lot of profit. You can't go to Sam's and buy it, you have to buy it from Coke.
But then that money.
That money goes back to the leagues, split between baseball and softball.
So what you're saying is that money's not gonna go back to the league, if they're still gonna have volunteers to run it.
Well, no, he's
No,
gonna
so
hire
they're
people.
gonna hire
He's
people.
gonna hire people.
But you're gonna lose out on that revenue.
Yes.
But from what I understood, it, buys a concession, it also was supposed to go back into maintenance, is what I was told. So I don't know if the league actually saw any of that.
They did.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know those numbers, I haven't seen the financials.
They have to go back to the old fashioned fundraisers.
That's where money came from, to pay the entry fee, that's where money came from, somebody needs some gear, that's where money came from, to buy brick dust when it's needed, that's where money came from, to pay repairs on the equipment we had, so forth and so on.
Anything else for Rob?
One more question. If you bring in USSSA and ORB or whatever the baseball is, are they gonna limit you to using only them for tournaments?
No.
Because UTRIP does that a lot. They will say, you bring somebody else in,
It's
we're out.
one thing good about us, you know, getting these funds together for doing that is we're not gonna be controlled by them or any other organization, you know what I mean? We're allowed, if they decide not to, then obviously we can go visit them.
So if they decide after this year that they're not coming back, and you got 8 diamonds at $1.5 million, that you're making no money.
Well, we're gonna do, so what the plan is, Mark, is obviously part of this is the commissioners wanna see a 5-year agreement from them to come back. That does not mean they're primary on the facility.
Right.
Okay, we are looking for that agreement. I could see it coming to something to where we're gonna cap you at $200 to $250 per diamond and not exceed that in 5 years. That way it's to their benefit.
What is the league, what's the diamond rental currently?
175 on the turf.
That's what you're offering them.
This year.
What was it prior to?
150, because we had already agreed to do tournaments while we were just gonna do dirt. So I didn't wanna hike it up on them this first year to keep them enticed. But next year we'll go up because of the turf diamonds, and we'll pay more to play on turf.
Okay.
What's Columbus gonna do?
Liberty,
And what they
they're
get?
going to turf, they're charging, we charge them $225 per diamond. They do the same thing we're gonna do, $225 per diamond per day.
Okay,
And,
once again. Okay,
All right.
thanks, Rob.
Thank you all very much.
Appreciate it. Let's skip down to Vieta. You want to talk a little bit about solid waste
We've got a, agreement, with contract, lease agreement, for solid waste, gonna look that over at the next meeting and, make sure everything's good there. She's probably just gonna finalize that on that end first and then bring it back here. Does anybody have any questions on how that might work out, or do you have any idea what I'm talking about? Okay, so solid waste is wanting to open up a permanent site, and they want to lease the old street department building. So we've been working on that. And I think it'd be a good fit. I think a lot of people will be happy that that will be back. It'll be manned, structured. It's gonna be a good thing, better than making the building just sit and do nothing, you know.
You know, put the dumpsters back out front like they were.
No.
I think the intention is that they are in the fenced-in area so that they are lockable and controllable in overnight hours and more secure.
You'll actually be able to take things there, take things into the garage, put them in gaylords, or, you know, take paint, somebody will be there to take your paint, take your light bulbs. There will be operation, hours of operation, there will be times when they're closed, just like the dump.
Okay.
So,
And part of the intention is to try to move away from Toxaway Days being a standalone event, and that service is generally provided year-round, with the exception of tires. I don't think the intention is to not take tires at the facility due to lots of reasons, and then maybe just doing like a tire
Tire
day
day,
only.
yeah.
So, take a look at the agreement that's in your packets, and the property committee has reviewed that as well. Solid Waste has looked at it, so Solid Waste meets in April. So it may be a little bit before it comes back around over here. We want to get it tidied up with Solid Waste, as Vieta mentioned. But if you have any comments or thoughts, please share those with Vieta or myself, or Daryl and Rodney are on the property committee. So, any questions for Vieta on that? Okay, I'm going to skip down to water board real quick. I want to be sure that we do an update. We did have a report to the water board from HNTB for our preliminary engineering report. This is the step that is required for us to access SRF, State Revolving Fund. There were 5 projects that were identified. All of those were a part of the capital improvement plan. That was a part of the rates. Those include the elevated tank on the south side of town, the water main project that is under Broadway from the sort of 4th Street up through the entrance to Winnie's, and then from 10th Street, from Broadway to Lincoln. The second project was under the railroad as part of the Main Street reconstruction project in partnership with INDOT. The third project was to improve the water line from Ryle Addition to the animal shelter, which is the missing link on Park Road. That will be done as a part of the Park Road project. And then from 200 west at Park Road, or the ice cream shop, the Pup Hut, up and across on Main Street, that will link all of the southwest side of the city with a water main loop. They presented the impacts from the environmental along with the schedules that vary based on the projects. The idea would be that 1 through 4 on the water main projects happen first. That way the loop allowed the water tank to be taken out of commission and refurbished instead of replacing it. Total estimated projected cost, $6.66 million. So they presented that to the water board as they are required to do so in part of the state revolving loan fund, and we will start some of those projects for our capital plan. Any questions on that? Daryl Tressler, do you want to talk about the EDC?
Yeah, real quick, the Ready 2.0 money has been sent up to the state, and we hope to have a decision on those projects by the end of March. The ones here in Decatur County are the Greensburg Learning Center Child Care Project and the former St. Mary's School Building. In the process of negotiating a price on a housing study for the entire county. You know, we talked about the jumping bison there a month or two ago. The HNTV is currently under contract and beginning the engineering work on that, as the company has paid for that money, and the EDC has received that money already for that and has it in their account. That's the highlights. Well, we actually have a meeting Thursday, so for this month, so.
King, what works?
O'Mara had the low bid for the CCMG grants for 2024-2. We approved the purchase of a camera truck for the wastewater plant. We discussed the Washington Township fire contract a little bit. We approved purchase of 3 city vehicles. And we approved the wastewater treatment plant transportation contract. Mark and then we approved dates May 19th through the 23rd for heavy trash. Only one heavy trash week this year, so we won't have a second one like normal.
What is it, not the week of the 19th?
May 19th through the 23rd. So, yeah, Mark's planning to make sure we get the proper communication out of going with your water bill, right, your sewer bill. So, and then we're also gonna make sure we indicate there's only 1 week this year for that. Then we also approved the, but it gave proof for the mayor to sign the transportation safety grant, basically an engineering study that has to be submitted to the state by March 1. That we're waiting to come back so that we don't lose out on that money that Zach was talking about earlier. We gave 2 conditional offers of employment for police officers tonight. Zach came up when we talked about, we approved Corbin Excavating for some stormwater inlet improvements. We approved a change order for Rebecca Trail extension. That gives a Washington Street update. It's on budget, on time. There we go. Preliminary, that was it. We already talked about that one. And then Zach also talked about the CCMG application for 2025. We discussed. Oh, obviously that was at the end. Sorry, it was not. Yes. We did get the introduction to our new K-9 and police officer. Basically, we created a contract with Decatur County Sheriff's Department and purchased that K-9 because we hired the officer that was with that K-9 from them. So that way we can kind of maintain the K-9 bond and officer bond. And, so, thank you. Sorry.
Mark?
Greensburg Main Street received national accreditation, which we're one of the very few cities in Indiana to have received this, feather in our cap. We're selected to host a community exchange in October. All the Main Street communities in Indiana will be invited to tour our town, our downtown, and learn about our organization's operations.
When they do that?
That's in October.
Kevin, anything else on plan?
No, we pretty much talked about the things that we talked about tonight. It was our first meeting of the year, so we did elect officers.
Can we go back? Ronnie, anything for 911? Redevelopment Commission, Darryl?
Link your dry humor. Very quickly, the Ironman apartment complex, the tax credits have been submitted to the state. The plan is to start on that in the summer, and there's some minor paperwork to be finished up to get it from the county to the city. Liberty Lakes, the utilities are finished. We're close to starting the second house. The first house is almost complete. And the goal is to have 20 houses built by the end of the year. There is one lot that has been sold. Property marketing, nothing serious going on there. And we committed to help pay for the Freeland Road, the city's part of that, for the repaving.
Appreciate the partnership. Okay, I think that takes care of everything else. I will invite everyone to the legislative update that the Chamber of Commerce is hosting this Thursday or Friday, 11:30. It is here at City Hall. It's free to everyone. All 4 of our legislators are committed to attending, so please, if you can, make that a priority. And then, of course, next week, Leaders and Loggers, which is another Chamber of Commerce event downtown at the Tap. We'll be giving the stripped-down version of the State of the City, which was referenced tonight. So I'm glad to see people had an opportunity to read and watch that. It is available online. And then the EDC Opportunity Expo is coming up in February. It's a great opportunity. We go each year, talk about internships, summer jobs, part-time jobs, full-time jobs to our local high school students. And if there is no other business to come before the council, thanks for the marathon meeting. I will take a motion to adjourn. Motion's been made by Darrell without hesitation. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, thanks everyone.